this is the first part of the video. In the second part, I'm talking about some design. But here but due to time, I had to cut off some of it, so I'll be talking about it here in the parts I missed. So in the level, I have got two pathways. One going this way to the side, which is this path is ideal for soldiers and engineers. This one specifically, this way that I just went, is good for scouts and engineers and spies, as it goes straight to the point. You can go straight to the point, but you can also go to the enemy backline, which is over there. Now for snipers, the best points, the best pathway would be to, instead of going down this way, up this way, which we just went, it is to actually go here. Now this way they have good vision towards the enemy and where they are, so it's really good for soldiers, for example, as soldiers have a straight B line, essentially a straight line to the capture point, to the objective. Here is also really good for the team. Now this one is quite good, however you can take quite a bit of fall damage if you fall, if as a sniper, but it's not too bad when it comes to positioning, as it kind of brings a high risk, high reward type of situation. Here you have the tunnel. This is ideal for medics and heavies, as sometimes they're quite slow, and this compensates for that, as it's a straight V line. However, it does leave them quite a bit exposed to the enemy. Resources quite scarce in the level. There's not that many of them, and the ones that there are not next to the capture point. However, there are two medium health packs, one here and one on the other side over there. During playtesting, where I've discovered that most people enjoy to play this way, where they go onto the pillars and they play from the top of here. I did not expect this, but I believe that it brings quite a bit of interesting ways to play. It's still quite fair for both teams. It does not affect them in any way, shape, or form. So I decided to keep this instead of making the pillars essentially taller, so that it's more difficult to play. And if you fail to actually go on them, as you can see, you take quite a bit of damage. Heavies can't go on them. The only ones that can really go are spies, heavies, and spies, scouts, and soldiers. Both levels are symmetrical. Both areas are symmetrical. And yeah, this is so far my my demo of the level. This is the scale. Yeah, thank you for watching. In the next part, I'll be talking about just design principles and overall design that I have practiced during making this level. This is my fly through of my TF2 map. This is the blue team spawn point. The blue team can spawn here. There is two ways the team can go. One is down below, which would lead straight to the point. However, it will leave them very exposed, as you can see, the enemy team has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways of looking at. Sorry, 4 ways of looking in this general direction, this part of the tunnel. This would normally be used by a medic with a heavy in the front line. However, there's a second option, which would be mainly used by spies, soldiers, and scouts. Now, for scouts and soldiers and spies, they would go down this way. Scouts, spies, and engineers would go this way. However, the soldier, the soldiers, they would go down this way with the snipers. This is the quickest way for a soldier to get hit, as there is a straight B line. There's a straight line going from here to here, and good soldier players will be able to use the rocket jumping to get to this point, which was ideally the soldier will be standing here, as it gives them quite a clear view. But here is also good um, as well. Here they can go back and pick another high vantage point, which will allow them to see um, the lower point of the enemy. So from where the heavies and the medics would normally come, the short path, as well as they have a good view of snipers. If, let's say, spies would normally take this path to flank the soldiers and the soldiers and the snipers to kill them, but they can also go this way in order to flank the engineers. However, with the engineers, it will be a bit more difficult, as you'd have your team sitting on this side. Here, I decided to put health and ammo in rather difficult positions to reach unless you're someone with a double jump. Someone that is easily killed, such as, for example, heavies would be quite. It would be quite difficult for a heavy to get this, as they'll have to go up and around. But for, let's say, a scout or a soldier or a spy, this wouldn't be too difficult to get. Also, I've decided that these pillars, normally they were going to be as tall as the ceiling. However, I decided to keep them low, as it provides an interesting playstyle from a lot of playtesters. There were quite a few people who like to play around on the pillars, which was interesting to see. Um, Jumping from pillar to pillar, and then, like, some of the playtesters noticed that the enemy team did not have a heavy, and they played around the pillars. Once the enemy team picked the heavy, they essentially lost. Um, I believe it provides quite a high risk, high reward aspect to the level, which I quite like. Here there's a cover for example, this is an ideal space for an engineer to place the turret and essentially camp, kind of. Um, there's several ammo packs and health packs split around the area. It is They're quite difficult to get, and to get them you need to backtrack quite a bit. So it brings balance. There's none other than this health pack, and um, so other than this health pack and this health pack, there's no other health packs in the main capture zone. Um, both sides are similar. One is red themed, one is blue themed. They're indicators to the lower level, as well as the direction, which is the direction of the capture point is upper level. Um, but yes, I've made it so that while running, you can see where you can go. Now, during development, I had a issue where the corridors were too narrow and long, and you'll be running for ages to get to the capture point, is which is not something I did not expect, as this map was inspired by Overwatch as I was playing at the time, and we know the history of Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. They're very similar games in some senses. However, I didn't realize that I'm not a very experienced Team Fortress 2 player, so I didn't realize how slow some of the movement was. Um, until I actually started testing and implementing the levels. So I have shortened the map quite a bit. Made the corridors quite a bit shorter. with more open areas where combat is enabled. This is a general overview of the map. It is not polished as to levels of detail, such as creating different small props, such as like carts and barrels and just overall 3D props. However, it is quite good. In this area, the capture points here. Here, the players can snipe as well as come back. I decided to normally this specific wall was as long as this. However, I realized that snipers that are here will be exposed for way too long if they were to be staying here. So I decided to make this a bit shorter so it gives the snipers a chance to retreat. However, initially when I was thinking of this, I was thinking of cutting a line here so it's even quicker. But then after some iterations, I've realized that keeping it square is actually better. As yes, it does help them, but if I was to cut it, it would provide too much help to the blue team or the red team, to the defenders, to the attackers essentially. So I decided to keep it as is. Um, these areas here they're quite small. There's not much to see except they're the path to the main area. But yes, this was my fly through. The design was inspired by Overwatch, like I said, so it's quite big. As you as you're about to. So